All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. This is Ben from Builders, and this is the Builders podcast. We're a Web 2 and Web 3 launch platform that's focused on launching projects. We try to help folks get additional eyeballs on their projects, additional feedback, and get them paid. But we're not here to talk about me today. We're here to talk about our guest. So let's go ahead and go over to our guest. She can introduce herself, her project, and we'll go from there.
Thank you, Ben, and thank you so much for inviting me. It's exciting to be here. So my name is Elitza, and I'm building OnPage. OnPage is a platform which allows creators to super easily create like a portfolio or mini website without any coding skills, so they can craft a page in just a few minutes and publish it instantly. And yeah, I've been building this for quite some time now, but lately there has been quite a lot of traction, user increase, MRR increase, in general visibility. So with that, I also managed to get into the hacker residency, which I spent in the last month in May, which was a great experience. I also launched on Product Hunt and managed to get top two, yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, pretty exciting stuff happening right now.
Awesome. So yeah, you said you've been working on the project for a long time. How many months or years have you been working on it?
Yeah, actually the project started a very, very long time ago, about 4 years ago, I think, but it wasn't, of course, in the shape as it is right now. So I had a co-founder back then, and we built this as part of an incubator program that we had in university. So we get a little bit of funding here from Austria, but like this was mainly to build a prototype, the first product, but we pivoted several times. But in reality, the product started growing roughly 7 months ago, since I put a lot of effort into like building in public connects, focusing more on marketing, not just building the product. So that's kind of when things started to work better.
Awesome. Okay, so this has been a long time coming. How long ago did you separate with your co-founder, if you don't mind me asking?
Last year, end of October, roughly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you were looking for a co-founder at that point in time. So you decided now that you're just solo, you're not looking for a co-founder?
For the moment, I think not really, because it's not easy first to find a co-founder, and second, I think for the moment, with all the AI advances that are happening right now, which is crazy in the space, I think I can still for the moment manage it on my own. And if I need like some support, I would rather at the moment do it on a freelance basis, like just some people who can help me out. Yeah.
Awesome. So you just crossed 7,000 users, right?
Yes,
That's
exactly.
awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So what are next steps for you? You got 7,000 users. I imagine 10,000 is probably the next goal.
Yes, 10,000 is the next goal, definitely. So I kind of had the time during the hacker residency to a little bit evaluate what I want to focus on. As before that, it was a bit like complicated to figure out what I want to improve. And now I realize that for that kind of platform that I have, because it's a freemium platform, what matters actually in the beginning is just having a lot of like users, a huge user base. So it would be tricky to try to improve both like the acquisition and the conversion rates. So that's why I'm at the moment focusing a bit more on like the acquisition part, like getting more and more users as possible. But of course, in the meantime, talking to the users and customers all the time so that I can figure out how to improve the platform. So yeah, that's kind of the idea for the moment.
Awesome. Okay, so aside from those improvements and getting the 10,000 users, you said that you're trying to convert more folks into paid and pro. So how's that going? What's the process been like there?
Yeah, that's a little bit tricky. I tested a few things lately. So for example, one thing I wanted to test. So as I said, I have a freemium model, which means that users can use it for free with limited functionality, but it's still enough so that they can actually craft a page, which looks good. And then in the pro version, they can access basically all the features. So have like a really professional page.
So feel free to share your screen too, if you'd like.
Yes, I can share in a moment just to finish what I wanted to say. So
sorry.
In the pro version, right, until like 3 weeks ago, they had to immediately pay to get it. So I decided to test something to see how it works, and I added a 7-day free trial to see how this works. So I see more people signing up for it now, but one problem that I'm facing is that a lot of people are actually putting a prepaid card, or like a card that doesn't have enough money in it. So after the 7-day trial, very often it happens right now that they have failed payments, which is pretty annoying. So I'm considering maybe removing it soon again, because this was just a test to see how it works. So I'm gonna try different things with the pricing models, like maybe introduce more tiers, just to see how things will resonate with the audience. And of course, like, thanks to their feedback, like, improve the platform itself.
Yeah, how many tiers do you have at the moment?
Just the two, like free and pro. But I was thinking like to introduce a third one.
Nice. Yeah, I think that would work well.
Yeah. Hope so.
So yeah, tell me a little bit about the hacker residency. How did that go? How did that come about?
That was honestly one of the most amazing experiences I had. First, as a solo developer, solopreneur, it's, as you know, very lonely to work sometimes. Like, you spin in your own thoughts, and sometimes you don't know like what to do. So it's really, really great to be surrounded by people first who think like you, so you feel understood. You don't feel like you're someone crazy doing crazy stuff. Like, everyone understands you. And also, like, the whole exchange, like, with the people, like, you just broaden your horizons. You see what people are doing, like, what are they building, how are they doing it, what's their approach, how are they looking at things. So this has been for me super, super valuable to see that, how different people work. And of course, I also got a lot of different feedback and perspectives for OnPage, which was interesting. Like, everyone, of course, had their like opinion and feedback, but it has been just amazing to help me a bit get out of my own like thoughts and like direction. So yeah, all in all, I think such residencies and gatherings with other people is absolutely amazing, and
All right.
more of those should be done for sure, because after all, it's, of course, we worked a lot, but it was also a great experience. Like, you literally met new friends as well. So yeah, it's interesting also to see, like, because up to this point with all of those people, we were just interacting on X, which is great, of course, but like, then you get to know the people to a very different level. So it's a very, like, you build really good connections, and I think this is super valuable.
Great. Cool.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of fantastic feedback. You had a really good experience. I was tracking on social media for a bit there. Looks like you guys were doing a lot of traveling, and looks like you had a good time.
Yeah, I was sharing mostly that, because I didn't share so much about the things that I've been working on for multiple reasons. Like, lately I got a lot of copycats. Like, there was a person who completely copied my whole landing page, the product. And so I was really trying to keep low-key some of the strategies I was testing, and actually some of the people from the villa told me that that's the reason why they're not even sharing, like, some of them, what they're building, like the things that they're building, because the moment someone sees something works and something is successful from what you try, immediately they just copy. And if they're like more people or just have more resources, then basically, yeah.
Yeah, I had a community member basically copy our entire formula. They're like, oh, well, users are unhappy because they don't have a light mode. Let me just basically make the same thing, but with light mode. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there will, of course, everyone, like, I also get inspiration from the other people. That's normal and that's okay. But like, taking something and copying it one-to-one, like, even with the messaging and everything, is just not good. And especially not knowing how much effort I put into it. I know what as I told you, I've been working on that for very long. I didn't vibe code it. I mean, of course, now most of the code I write is with AI, but like, the original idea and everything was done like manually. And even the designs, most of the designs I first do in Figma. So just seeing someone like copy like the idea even of the designs. For example, I have this like widget system, like when you have like this drawer with widgets, and I saw the same design And I designed this like in Figma. Like I have a Figma file with all of those. Like it wasn't even like AI. So that's one of the reasons which building public is amazing, but can sometimes backfire. And that's why I was trying to keep during the residency things low key. It looked a bit more like a trip and an adventure, which it was to some extent, but we were also like working really a lot. Like we had days where we were like really like locked in for 10, 12 hours straight.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, do you want to showcase your design and your own page?
Yeah, sure. Just 1 second. I'll share my screen. So do you see my screen?
Yep, got your screen.
Yeah, so this is how an homepage could look like. That's my personal homepage. So yeah, you basically have different types of elements that you can add. Links, section titles, text, images and videos. And this is what I've been talking about, the widgets. Like, for example, for social media, you don't just have a normal link. It actually, you can place, for example, Instagram as it is here, and it fetches your like latest pictures, following count, and so on. Wow. But also there are some other like embedding Spotify playlists, Deezer, even like you can integrate your Calendly or cal.com so people can actually book through it. I mean, it's of course like you see it fetches the book, like the meetings, the available times, but then when you book, it still uses the iframe. Yeah, map, GitHub, or like goal tracking. So yeah, you can build a page like this. For example, in my own page, I showcase different projects I've been working on, some websites, and also some trips I've been doing lately. Food, I'm a food lover. Yeah, and also you can track goals, or even like this is a more sophisticated feature that you can add a widget to subscribe, so people can actually directly subscribe to your own page. And if you don't go back to the dashboard, there's like audience tab, so you actually see who subscribed to your page.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, there are also like analytics, so you can see what happened, like who visited your own page on each day, how many links you got, devices. So you basically it allows you not just to build a page, but really understand your audience, where they're coming from, what are they clicking. Like you can see, for example, in my case, most of people click on my GitHub and then like Instagram and LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And yeah, another feature that has been added pretty recently is to be able to connect your own domain. So in my case, now you can access the app through own.page/Elitza, which is the domain that everyone gets, even in the free version. But if you go to elitzavasileva.com, it's also my page, because I connected my own domain. So this is also something you can do in just like literally 2 clicks. And yeah, everything happens super easily with dragging and dropping. You can resize elements, so everything then resizes with it. Yeah, so a lot of features especially for creators and small businesses that want a simple online presence.
Okay, so is that your primary objective, is to find like small business owners? Is that your ICP?
It's both creators and small business owners. This is also what currently like most of the users are like doing. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if you could just access like anyone that was watching, say we had a really large audience, who would you want to specifically speak to, and what problems would you specifically want to solve?
Yeah, I want to speak to everyone who generally first has no technical expertise, like in building such stuff, even with AI, and just really want to craft a simple presence for like their work projects or like even hobbies, and doesn't need to take care of all these things that are coming with it. For example, hosting, because it's hosted on our platform. Analytics, because if you have your own website, even if you build it with AI, you still need to connect analytics to see what's actually happening. Also, the newsletter feature that I showed you, this is again, you need to connect an external service so you can collect like emails. So basically all these things are coming into one platform. All you need to do is just register basically create a page, publish, and you have access to all of these features.
Awesome. Well, cool. Where have you been prospecting, if you don't mind me asking? Like, what have you been doing for marketing and outreach?
One of the best things lately that I did was the product hunt launch. It brought me up to this date, I think, almost 2,000 users.
Wow.
Yeah, I launched on the 25th of May. And since then, that's the count of the users that got into the platform, which is the highest ever. So on the day of the launch plus the next day, because it's like 24-hour cycle, I think in total I got like 700-800 new registrations.
Damn,
which
dude.
is the highest ever. Yeah.
That's awesome. So how did you launch a successful product hunt launch? I'm curious about that because I've launched on there before and I made maybe top 10, but no way I made top
yeah.
3.
It seems easy, but it's not actually. It's a lot of work. I would split it into these 3 phases, like before the launch, during the launch, and after the launch. So actually, I've been postponing this for quite long. I wanted to do it a long time ago, but the reasoning why I didn't do it is because I wanted to have a community. I wanted to have an audience, because without this, it's really hard. It's really hard to compete, because once a big company launches, then like they have hundreds of people who can support them. So yeah, that's one of the first advice. I think don't just like launch, really try to first like gather an audience, community, like even your users can be that. Another thing I learned about the launch, which I didn't know before, is that even if you have this audience and community, if you're in the first place not featured by Product Hunt on the day of the launch, it doesn't matter, even if you get 1,000 votes. And by featured, I mean they have this specific tab where they pre-select manually the products that will be like visible, which is every day a different number. There's not like no fixed rule or something. So for that to be featured, they of course like list some criteria. For example, you have to have like, of course, the graphics, video, like this maker's comment and all this kind of stuff. But it's still not guaranteed that you'll be featured. So in my case, I was very stressed because I wasn't featured initially. So usually if you're featured, you get an email that you were featured like 12 hours earlier, which is an automated email. So if you don't get it, chances like sometimes they check them later if they skipped something, but chances is lower definitely. So I wasn't featured in the beginning, and I wrote a few emails to Product Hunt, and I guess that worked. I mean, they didn't reply to my emails, but 15 minutes after the launch started, I saw that I was on the featured page. And what they did, apparently, you have this tagline in Product Hunt. They changed my tagline to something different, what they thought would be. So it's not how I presented my product. But apparently they do it in order to, for example, if there were similar products recently, to differentiate between them.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, so thankfully, then I was featured pretty quickly. That's one thing that maybe people should know, that being featured is very important, like as a very, very first step. And then, of course, it's hustling at all times. Like you just need to get the support, the upvotes, the comments. And in my case, thankfully, I got a huge support from the people from the villa, like the hacker residency. Like they reshared, reposted, upvoted. But in general, also my whole X community, like my post got quite viral. I didn't expect this. Like I think it got almost 100,000 views after all.
Wow.
Yeah, but I tried different channels. I also tried to connect, like to ask people I know from before, from different startups, from the Austrian ecosystem, through the programs where we've been. But there is another maybe important thing to mention here. Not every person's vote counts, actually. So you need to be an active Product Hunt user, basically. So if you just register right now and a vote, that won't count. So even though I contacted hundreds of people for real, but I think only half of them probably really counted towards the upvotes.
Gotcha.
If you're launching, don't expect to ask just your friends and they just register and upvote, because this will bring exactly nothing. That's why I didn't even ask anyone from my like friends who are not in the space, or like parents or something. Like it was just people who I know are also like on Product Hunt, like building, and from the X community. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, cool. Are there any questions that I should ask that you wish people would ask you more often?
That's a very good question. Honestly, I don't know right now.
That's okay.
You're catching me a bit unprepared for that
Bit of a
question.
creative question, so all good.
Yeah.
Well, cool. We're about 30 minutes in now. Is there anything else that you want to cover or discuss pertaining to own page or your journey or anything like that?
Not particular. I'm just grateful. Maybe one thing I can tell the people is just to not give up, enjoy the journey, because after all, I'm always thinking like, even if I don't become like super successful with this product, I think the whole journey that happened to me right now is just super valuable, and like all the connections I made. I mean, I got Mark Lu to follow me on the Product Hunt launch, so so yeah, actually the whole Product Hunt launch brought me so many things. It's crazy. First, like the whole visibility, for the product mainly, of course, but also gaining again a new wave of followers on X, exposure. Also, like as I told you, like Mark Lu followed me. He reposted my launch, and he also wrote a comment there that everyone should upvote because this should get number one.
Mhm.
Jack Freaks followed me on that day as well. So it's been like super crazy. So you never know how one thing can unlock so many other things and like bring a lot of things, because I think even if of course I'm giving my best and I'm continuing with the project, but I have other ideas and I want to build other projects and ideas. And I think building like this trust and community and people will at least make it a bit easier, because you will have a first wave of people who can test your product, give you feedback. Yeah, so I think just people should not give up and continue building, shipping, and doing cool stuff.
Right on. Okay, we'll go ahead and end it there. I appreciate the final words and the sage advice. Let me go ahead and stop the recording, and we'll catch up.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, great having you.